right. There we go. Perfect. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. My name is Shannon, and my Facebook or my page is Paper Delights. I'm a paper craft artist and a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I come on most evenings at 7 o'clock, Monday to Friday, to show you different stamp sets, old and new. We do Throwback Thursdays to show you different paper crafts and different things that you can create with some amazing paper. Yeah. So last night, unfortunately, I was at our condo board had a their annual elections, and so I had to be there for that. So before we get started on our cards, let's do some quick little housekeeping. So I wanted to remind people that if they're ever interested in becoming a demonstrator like myself, you get 20% off your purchases, as well as for this month, if you sign up this month, you also get 2 free card packs, 2 free stamp sets, and some gems on top of all of the goodies that you pick for yourself out of the catalog. It's being a demonstrator with this company is pretty awesome because you pick what you want from the catalog. They don't pick it for you. So as long as it meets, you know, the sort of the amounts that they have, then you're good to go, which is awesome. So like you could put your big shot in there and stuff like that. Also, with any purchases this month, I'm offering this free little pack. It'll be some designer series paper from last year, as well as these sort of labels. So you can make some of the cards that we made earlier this month. Also want to remind people that if anyone is interested in the card buffet, so these are our 2 sort of Thanksgiving cards. But if you're interested in the card buffet, you pick any 4 designs and you get 8 cards. You get 2 of each. And it's $25 or a $35 order. So this is how awesome this deal is. So if you were to put a $35 order, not only would you get products, and you would also get 4 designs, and you would also get this little card pack. This is a good time. If you ever was thinking about putting in a little order of a few little things, now's the time. I'm telling you. All right. So we're doing Rooted in Nature. I love this stamp set. This was, like I said, one of my very first stamp sets that I ordered just because I loved it so much. So for this stamp set, I think I showed you before how we had sort of made the trees using multiple ink on the stamps and then stamping them off. So I just chose one and I fussy cutted this one out, but you could, use the dies if you wanted to cut it out yourself. And the same thing with this one here. It's this beautiful stamp. It makes this gorgeous sort of tree trunk ring, which I think is just beautiful. So my idea for this card was we've got the card base, and then I've got, this is Early Espresso. This is Soft Suede. This is Early Espresso. And then I have the white piece that's going to go here with my tree and my wood piece. And then here I thought we would put a sentiment. So we have My Heart is Grateful for You. Could do Be Happy, Be Strong, Be Happy, Be You. I like that one. I could do that one there. Now, I had put this in the card because I found that this left a lot of sort of empty space, and so I was checking it out that I could use the little dots from the Forever Fern set to sort of help to give a bit of texture to the white, because I didn't want to cut down the piece anymore because then it would come off the tree. But let me see if we can find a sentiment that is a little bit bigger. So this one here from Beautiful Autumn. You're gonna love this stamp set too. Having so much fun with that one. Making all sorts of fall stuff. So let's see. We could put that one here. My heart is grateful for you. Yeah, I like that there. All right, let's do that. All right, so let's put this together. And we'll get some ink for this. Some glue for this. So just sort of center that up. Now, before I glue this one on, I'm going to put my sentiment in the corner. And because this is a new set, I'm going to wipe down my stamp just real quick. Sometimes I find the new stamps, you almost need to like prime them, so to speak. And I'm just going to do a test one just to be on the safe side. Perfect. Oh, isn't that a pretty font? That's so pretty. I like that. All right. I'm going to put it up in this corner here so that we can put the tree and such on the other. Now, like I said, I'm going to put a little bit of texture. So I've got the little dots here, and I've got the gray. But what I'm going to do is, instead of doing it full strength, I'm going to stamp it off. So I'm going to stamp it off on this paper, and then once I see that it's getting lighter, then I'll add it to this one. Because again, I'm just trying to add a little bit of texture. There, that's good. Doesn't need a lot, just a little. I mean, I could have used the leaves as sort of the texture in the background. There's so many options you can do. All right, so now let's glue that one down. So like that. And then my tree is going to go here, or my stump, I guess, and then this tree is going to go here. Isn't that pretty? All right, so let's glue this one down, and then I might pop this one up. All right, so we'll do that, and then we'll pop this one up. Grab my little dimensionals here. So I'm going to cut up one so I can put it on the stem of the tree. So that it doesn't get squished down. There. Comme ça. There we go. Perfect. We'll take this off. My hands are already starting to crack. Back at work, we wash our hands so much. We put hand sanitizer on them so much. I try to put cream on them in the evenings to help them, but it's hard on the skin for sure. All right, sorry, I just noticed that my you could see it from the other side. So there, all right. There, my heart is grateful for you. Isn't that nice? I like that. And then we could add some bling to it. Let's see what we have. We could do some silver. I think I like these ones. The champagne rhinestones. But I don't think you can go wrong. Any bling would look nice. A little sparkle. A little bit of sparkle. Try not to make it so symmetrical, but it can't be avoided. So there we go. So there's our first card, using the stamps from the Rooted in Nature. All right, here is our next card. So for this one, I really wanted to focus on, because there's so many elements in this stamp set, to be honest. Like these ones, these trees here, you could use for some of the Christmas cards that we did with some of, like In the Pines. You could use these ones instead if you don't have In the Pines. These leaves you can use to make poinsettia leaves, petals, I should say. And we might make one of those cards another time. This makes it, we saw that one, it made a beautiful fall card. Like there's so many elements. There's some pretty leaves that you could stamp and cut out. It's, like I said, it's, you get two in the one, and it's such a good stamp set. So for this one, I wanted to focus a little bit more on the leaves. So my idea for this is that I just chose two simple colors. And the idea is, we'll wrap that on around after. So the idea is that we're just going to stamp a few leaves on here and then add these, pop these up. So it's almost like, you know, a couple dimensional type things. Real easy breezy. All right, sorry, I'm trying to figure out where my ink. All right. So for some of these, I'm going to go off the page a bit. So I'm just going to put another piece behind it. And I don't know if you can see, there's such beautiful detail in the leaves when you stamp them. It's so pretty. Like, how pretty is that? Isn't that pretty? So So I'm just going to do a couple with the stamped on here, and then like I said, we're going to put some of these on. So it really doesn't matter where you put it. There. All right. And then what we will do is wrap. So I had the nice cotton twine. So my idea was that we would wrap the twine around. Okay. Need a bit more on this end. Sorry, got to turn it around. There we go. So wrap the twine around the paper, and we'll tie it in a bow because I felt this one needed to have a little bow. I don't always do bows, but I do like them. All right, let's see if I can get this sorted Maybe not. I am all thumbs today. All right. When in doubt, tie a knot, then tie a bow. There. We'll do that for now. Okay. So then my idea was that on a little strip of paper, we would stamp one of the sentiments. So words are never enough, to thank you for all you do, one of those ones there. So to thank you for all you do, I think that would be pretty. We might have to move the bow over. Let's see. Words are never enough. This is how I play around with my cards to see how things will fit. Sorry, my desk is a mess and things are falling off. All right, I think we'll use this one, and then we'll trim the piece to fit, and then we can wiggle the string down if we have to. So, oops, I'm so sorry. I'm going to put this fairly far down to the end. And I am going to use my punch and do the one end. That didn't work. Why did that not work? All right, let's try again on the other side. Isn't that great? Paper has two sides. I love it. If something doesn't work on one way, we just flip it over and figure it out on the other side. So maybe I won't trim it this time. I will just stamp it, leave it. All right. So back to this part. I thought I would pop some of these up to give it a bit of dimension. Again, though, some of it I'm going to leave hanging over the end so that it has a bit more interest. And my desk, if you could see it, my craft table or whatever you want to call it, is a disaster. There we go. All right. So I'm thinking this one here, and then maybe that one there. And then maybe a blue one, or a small green one up here, and a small blue one down there. And then words are never enough. I could even put some coming in from this direction, but I kind of like, it's funny. Sometimes I don't like to have plain white, but then there's other times where I really like the plain white. But I am going to scooch this up. Okay, I kind of know where I want those, but I am going to scooch the string up because I'm thinking I want the words just a bit higher up, like there, right? So like, yeah, I like that better. And then I'm going to scooch it down a little bit so that the knot is closer to the edge of the paper here. There, like that. Okay, so that it can go there. Yes, just like that. All right. Okay, so let's pop these on, and then we'll trim them. Then we'll put our sentiment on, and then we're off to the races. So you can choose whatever colors you happen to have. If you've got blues or pinks even, there's all sorts of different colors, that combinations you can use. I just went with two that were fairly similar, or they're on the same sort of color palette. There. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is when I flip it over, I'm just going to trim them. Sorry. Just give them a bit of a trim, like that. We'll save those for another day. There, doesn't that look pretty? And then this one, we will put some dimensionals, and I'm going to try and put it on either side so it captures the string in the middle, so to speak. Sort of like that. There. All right. So put that there, like that. And we're going to trim this one off as well. I might need to put another dimensional there on that side, just to sort of help hold it down. There we go. All right. Then we are going to put the whole thing on some crumb cake, like that. And then this goes on the white base. I like the simplicity of this one. We could try and tie a bow, but I seem to be all thumbs tonight. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Got it. All right. There we go. All right. So there's our 2 cards. All right, the last one for tonight. I don't know, do we need diamonds? Do we need some bling to this one? What do you think? Do we need some bling to this one, or should we leave it? You guys tell me what you think. Bling or no bling? All right, while you're deciding that, I was going to show you a technique for this one. So this one here, we did shading of the circle, the sun, the moon, whatever you want it to represent, and then we stamped over it. So what I did for that was I took a piece of paper, a scrap piece of paper, and my circle. So I've got 2 sizes on this one because I thought I would try it, but then that was way too big. So then I did this one. But I think that even that one will be better. So scrap piece of paper, but big enough that it will cover. So as you're doing your technique, it's not so thin that you can go off. So I was going to show you. So then I tried the same technique using the white pigment to make the moon and then stamp, but I found I'll have to try it again because the white pigment wasn't quite dry enough when I did this, and so I wondered if that's why you can't really see the black as clearly. So I might have to try this one again, but I did attempt to do a moon with like the dark scene in behind, but it just didn't have the same effect. So, but I'll have to play around with it a little bit more. Definitely need to do that. So this is just a white card base. You could, like I did with this one, is that you could have it separate and then glue it onto another base, or you could do it directly onto a card base. So I'm going to do it directly onto this one, and I'm going to use my full sticky note. So this is just like a full sticky note thing, or you could use like painter's tape or something like that. So whatever you want to use to sort of hold your piece down. So when I put the circle in here, I kind of had an idea that I wanted it off-centered so that I could recreate this look here. All right. So let's make sure that you guys can all see this. There we go. So this one I did in like a crushed curry kind of look. So again, this I just found at the Dollar Tree. You might be able to find a bigger one. It might work a little bit better. So I start off and then I move on to my spot. And you can add as much or as little as you want in order to get so different darknesses, so shades. So this one I thought I got a bit too dark, but it actually turned out that I kind of liked it. So, and that's all you do, is you just sort of go around and brush it on. Looks like my brush is shedding though. So I am going to make it a bit darker over here on this side. There we go. And I think I like that. And then what I did for this one in particular, because it hadn't smoothed really well because I was rushing and stuff. So what I did was I took my Wink of Stella. I took my Wink of Stella and I sort of brushed it, because the Wink of Stella, there is a liquid to it, right? So it does tend to sort of blend colors together. And so I did it with this one, and it just sort of helps to, I found it helped to sort of blend the ink, because like I said, in some places it was kind of splotchy. So I just did this with it. Look how pretty that is. It was by fluke, but it turned out really nice. Well, I guess I'm supposed to say, yes, I intended that to happen. But in all honesty, half of the stuff that happens is just happy accident, because you're trying something and it happens that way. So you do have to wait for it to dry completely, I find, before you add the other stamp. So, and I didn't make one ahead of time, I'm afraid, but you can sort of see. That's all you need to do, is you create the stencil and then do your ink, and then you can stamp on top of it. But wait until it's completely dry. Otherwise, it just doesn't have the same kind of effect, right? Okay, so I'll just move this out of the way. We'll put this one on. And then we're good. What did we decide? Did we want bling on this one, or bling or no bling? Sorry, the sentiment, be strong on this one. Oh, this one is just a stamp. Yeah, it's a stamp from the Rooted in Nature set. It has, this set has two cases, so you really do get a lot for your money's worth in that set. So this one has thank you for all you do, words are never enough, be strong, be happy, be you, and they're together. And I like it when they do the reverse. So instead of having just the words, they do the reverse so that the words are the color of the paper, and then they do the blocking around it. So it's always a neat change, right? So bling. All right, we'll do bling. There you go. So let's see. For this one, I think maybe just some simple rhinestones, basic rhinestones. There we go. So there are our cards for this evening. Now this technique, so after I did this one, I was like, ooh, I really like this. What else can I do with this? And so you will see tomorrow, giving you a sneak peek, that I did some more shapes. So I did the rectangle, and then I did some other sort of masking of shapes. So it's a really fun technique to add some simplicity to add to the car. So we'll do those ones tomorrow. But yeah, you could do an oval, you could do circle, you could do sky's the limit, right? So whatever you can imagine, definitely you can do. So, but I did discover that if you only have one brush, really important to clean it very, very thoroughly in between your different squares, because when you do one in green and then not clean it very well and then try to do one in yellow, it doesn't always turn out very well, but it's all good. So there are our cards for this evening with the Rooted in Nature stamp set. Thank you so much for coming by and joining me this evening. There will be, I will have another open house at the end of this month with some Halloween goodies and some Thanksgiving goodies, and yeah, so much fun. I will get another sneak peek. I apologize, I've not been on top of my pictures. I've been pretty exhausted after work. Love the kids, but they're exhausting. And then all of the hand sanitizing stuff, it's crazy. Anyway, I hope you're all having a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've been inspired and encouraged to get to your craft room and create some beautiful things to share with people. So have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and thanks again. Take care.